Today we're comparing the first position and the 13th position on the second string, as well as comparing a B major and B minor triad on the second string. Follow the lesson for free, but these examples come from my Exploring the Fretboard book, which is 100 exercises for intermediate guitar, and there's a link for that in the description. But you can pick up all of the exercises for free from the videos just by watching them. But of course, if you're more serious, you need to see the music notation and study the book more thoroughly. So let me just first say a quick little word about people using the book. I think there's the first half of the book is single string exercises, and I think a lot of students are either finding that A, fascinating, or B, tedious. And that's kind of expected. I expected that a little bit. But I will caution students not to jump to the next section in the book, which is kind of the fun one where we compare similar passages all over the fretboard and stuff. But what we're doing here is we are reprogramming your mind a little bit to think more in terms of the musical alphabet and more horizontally up the fretboard like this, to be able to conceptualize music in relationship to the musical alphabet in this way, which just isn't done as much in guitar method books because we're often focused on patterns that go vertically across the strings. But it's pretty tough for intermediate students or beginner students to be able to conceptualize the musical alphabet, across the fingerboard in that way. And so we're just reprogramming our minds to be working in this way. And also along the way, building up a bunch of anchor points and like anchor notes on the fretboard, and also getting some concepts into our minds so that when we do start doing more complicated jumping around, we have a lot more context for what we're doing. And also we'll have the ability to be able to find a note if I'm comparing, a C to a C to a C, that you'll be able to count through the musical alphabet and find those notes, not just randomly try to hit the right note. So it's really important that we do these, and that's why I had to open the book like this, and why we have this big section of single string exercises. Okay, so exercise number 26. Let me just play it first, but then we're gonna say the note names out loud. It's essential, though, that we say the note names out loud because we can learn this fingering super quick. And the fingering is exactly the same except it sounds one octave higher because once we pass to the 13th fret, the musical alphabet just repeats itself. So it's exactly the same here as it is here. Whoops. But just learning the fingering doesn't do anything for our actual knowledge of the fretboard, right? C, D, E, F, E, D, C. C, D, E, F, E, D, C. Now, some of you will find playing in this upper position a little bit difficult, so just slow it down. It's not a technique book. Just play it at whatever speed is comfortable. Just remember to say those note names out loud and repeat it for a few days, even if you can play it on the first try and do it on the first try. The act of saying that out loud also builds up your anchor of where C is, and that D is a full tone, 2 semitones up, 2 frets up. It builds an awareness of how the musical alphabet works on the guitar. So repeating it for a little while just will help build in those anchors and build in that knowledge. So number 27 is comparing B major to B minor triads on the second string. So let me just play it first, and then we'll say the note names out loud. again, being able to play that is one thing, but what we're really doing is we're looking at the third of the chord and how it gets lowered a semitone when we're in minor. So B, D sharp, F sharp, B, F sharp, D sharp, B, B, D natural, F sharp, B, F sharp, D natural, B. You don't have to say the natural if you don't want to. But it's just important that we realize that in a minor triad, we lower that third by a semitone. And by saying it out loud, we also we build up some new anchor points as well on the fretboard. So like I said, just keep plugging away at these. And as we go through the book, you'll be gaining all this knowledge. And then when we get to that more comparative section of the book that does away with the single string studies, you're going to have so much more knowledge of the fretboard and so many more anchor points and more awareness of up positions, and it's so much more awareness of the fretboard. So just keep at it. Don't get discouraged. Study it for 2 or 3 minutes a day, and then just move on to your repertoire and your other studies, and you don't even think about it. You just do it for a few minutes. You say the note names out loud, and then you move on, and you'll be gaining so much knowledge as you go.